Before we get into the video, I quickly want to talk about his build. You want to try to rush Backstabber as your first item, because when you use Drifter's secondary ability, it throws a projectile on the opponent, and when you teleport to them, it puts you right behind them, which makes it super easy to proc Backstabber. Backstabber deals spirit damage over time and also reduces their bullet resist, and as you can see, it's a gun build. Also, for 4 seconds, if you or any allies are near the target, you will see them through walls, and you also get bonus movement speed. This is super good whenever a target is isolated, and that is Drifter's third ability called Blood Scent. So isolated heroes leave a trail as they move, as you can see on the dummy here, and you deal 15% extra damage to isolated targets, and when you put 1 point in your 3, you also gain more movement speed when you're around an isolated target. When it's fully maxed out, you deal 28% extra damage to an isolated target, and if you get the kill, you get 5% extra weapon damage permanently. Your goal is to stick to your target and deal as much weapon damage as you can, which is why items such as Close Quarters, Opening Rounds, and Hunter's Aura are super good. Also, Fortitude helps with the movement speed, and so does Fleetfoot. You don't lose any movement speed whenever you're shooting with Fleetfoot, which is super good. Fury Trance grants a lot of bullet lifesteal, a lot of fire rate, and spirit resist whenever you pop it. His 2 ability does damage over time, and you have a lot of time to teleport to your opponent, so this can be used as a good escape if you throw it into the jungle. And it's an insane chasing tool because later in the game you have 2 charges of it, so it's almost impossible for them to escape. Quick disclaimer, I do think that a spirit build might work on Drifter, but it needs more testing, so today I'm covering the gun build. And by the way, I do private coaching in Deadlock, so make sure to head on over to my Discord for more information, and let's get right into the video. Alright, we're back with another one, and today I'm covering Drifter, which is the newest character, and it's played by Dorian, who's a super good player from North America. You're gonna start with your 1 ability. It has a very big hitbox in front of you, and Drifter is sort of a melee character. You want to try to stick to your opponent. What's nice is that his 1 ability has quite a short cooldown to begin with. It's 15 seconds, and you want to utilize your movement as well to not get shot as much. Gonna be chasing the McGinnis. Nice parry on the page there. Gets a lot of melee damage in. The 1 is off cooldown, and that should just be easy 2 kills. One quick tip that I have about the parry is try to learn the sound. There's a dummy in the sandbox that heavy punches you, and you can learn the sound of it and parry on reaction. I think, yeah, he's dying to the tower because this resets his HP, and then he's gonna come back to lane with full HP. They don't lose a wave, and yeah, they just basically come back with an advantage, because sometimes staying in lane, if they would stay right now, they would both be low HP. His opponents would come to lane with full HP, and it would be an uneven lane, although you would have a significant gold lead already. Gets his 2 ability there, and remember, when you throw your 2 on somebody, you have a couple of seconds where it does spirit damage over time, and once you teleport to them, you end up behind them, which makes Backstabber an insanely good item. Utilizing the wall climbing there just to get a good angle to shoot the opponents. Prioritizes the wave here, just make sure to get the minions down. And then, sorry, troopers is what they're called. Laning into McGinnis and Page. McGinnis, the wall is basically the scariest tool, because we want to stay close, and if we get walled off, if we get stunned and just zoned out, can be a bit scary, especially with Page's 3. Her 3 ability throws down a sword on the ground, and once it hits, it immobilizes you on the ground. I think it's just gonna get Backstabber right off the bat here. There it is. It's waiting for the boxes to spawn. They spawn at 2 minutes. The timings are a bit weird in VOD, so I'm sorry about that. But at 2 minutes, the boxes and the jungle camp spawn. Here you can see a box route that he just does very quickly. Comes back for the wave. So you definitely want to keep prioritizing the wave. Try not to miss any troopers. And once you're done with the wave, that's when you can just go for some boxes. Also, remember that your 1 ability applies melee items. I don't think it goes any melee items with this build, but it does. I think it triggers Backstabber, actually, because he uses 1 behind. I'm pretty sure the 1 ability triggers Backstabber, so it's definitely something that you want to do. It reduces your bullet resistance, which is really nice since we're doing a gun build. Also marks the enemy so you can see them through walls. Keep these behind and translate the 1 abilities. That's basically the basic combo, so to say. You press your 2, you press it again to teleport behind them, you press your 1, and then you're just trying to stick to your opponent if you can get the kill. If you can't, you just get out. Gets melee lifesteal here. It's super good because it applies on our 1, and it gives us a bit of sustain in lane. Plays above the opponent, just looking for a way to hit the 1 ability there. The 1 ability is also called Rend, so I might start referencing it with that name from now on. But you definitely want to use Rend on a good timing, or whenever you can, really. And the range, again, it's really big. The hitbox is big of the ability. He's trying to play these side angles here, just trying to pick out his opponents. Trying to get that Backstabber going. Wonder if he hit the mark on the opponent, or if he hit it on the minion. Not sure who the mark hit, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to TP to them anyways. I like the pressure. The double kill at the start definitely does help. He seems to have really good control over the lane. about 400 gold up on them. He will unlock his ultimate ability very, very soon. So once you get your ult, you can use your 2, teleport to your opponent, press your ult and press your 1. Let's get your combo going, and it's also give you, the ult gives you increased movement speed, and it decreases the vision for your opponents in a circle around them. The melee lifesteal is really nice, just helps him sustain in lane. And remember, you can teleport to anything. So there, he put the 2 on the tower. You can do this to jungle camps as well, and it does travel for a really far range. So if you're getting chased by somebody, you can try to just hit your 2 on a jungle camp that is far away. I've seen some lineups on Reddit, and you can go into a custom game to find lineups for yourself. You don't need to be super particular with it. The most important thing, to be honest, nice hit with the 2 there. Wow. I'm not sure how big the hitbox of the 2 is, but just get creative with it. As long as you know where the jungle camps are, you can basically just throw your 2 and teleport to them. So it's a good tool to use for survivability. And you're also in the mid game going to look for isolated targets. Isolated targets leave a blood trail behind them, and you have a flat damage increase to isolated targets. And if you do get the kill, you get 5% weapon damage permanently. So over the course of the game, it's just gonna stack up. Also, buffs spawn at 5 minutes, so just make sure to time them. Again, the timer is a bit off in the VOD, so I apologize for that. Going for boxes because he doesn't really have a wave to go for right now, and he's sitting on about 2k gold. So let's see what he's gonna buy next. He's probably just gonna go and clear out the wave, and then he's either gonna join the fight here on the left side, or if he's just gonna go to the shop because he's sitting on quite a bit of gold. Gets the battle vest there, nice, some extra bullet damage and also some bullet resist, clearing jungle camps pretty efficiently as well. Let's see what he buys next. Buys rapid rounds just for increased fire rate. I mean, again, it's a gun build and we want to try to do as much gun damage as we can. There's the page ult. A crazy thing about the page ult is that it's global. It goes across the entire map. So if you played something like League of Legends, see it as an Ezreal ult. And every opponent it hits, it deals damage and it stuns them for about a second. And every ally it hits, it heals them and also increases their movement speed. So I wouldn't recommend you to try to snipe across the map, like from the right side of the map to the left side of the map. Because the cooldown of Page's ult is very, very long. But it's just a fun thing, you know, like sometimes you can try it out. Or if you know that somebody's heading back to base with very, very low HP, and we can try to snipe them that way. I haven't seen any crazy snipes with Page ult yet, but there's definitely potential there. Don't think you should be joining this fight right now. He's kind of low. We're about 270 HP. They're gonna chase now. I would probably go back to base. He does have the speed boost. Let's see if he's gonna use it, or if he's just gonna hold on to it. I mean, he's gonna lose the tower in the mid lane anyways. Might choose to go to the left side. Looks like Billy's getting chased by 3 players. He opts to hold on to the speed boost here. I'm not sure if he can join the Billy here. It's gonna be a 2v3. Maybe he can try though with his ult. There it is. It's going to be a hard one. I mean, I respect it. The character is new. There's some limit testing going on here. Nice parries. Is it gonna get one? He gets the Ivy. Really nice parries from Ido. Well played. In a 1v3 as well. That is some crazy limit testing for this being a new character. But that's also things that you have to do, you know? You need to be willing to take some risk in order to understand when your character is strong and when it isn't, and what you can actually do. There's a fine line between inting your games and limit testing, so just make sure, you know, that you don't run down your games completely. I would say it's okay to lose games if you're learning something new, but you know, some teammates might not appreciate it. Yeah, this character is a bit unexplored. There's a lot of things that you can do. One item that I think is interesting on Drifter, I don't think Ido does it in this build here, but Veil Walker can work pretty nicely because every time you go through a Veil, you become stealthed, and that can be an easy way to maybe find isolated targets in the mid game. Might die here, actually. It's not looking super good, actually. He heals with the melee lifesteal there, and he's so tanky. Has the battle vest. I think that this character is probably really strong in the lower mid elos because it's basically a snowballer. Kind of reminds me of old school Shiv. I mean, old school Shiv was very overtuned. For those of you who played it, you know exactly how it was. It wasn't fun at all. I don't think Drifter is that strong, but I do think that he is very, very strong right now. Again, a bit unexplored, and there might be potential in a spirit build as well because a lot of his abilities do spirit damage. So that one might be a bit interesting, to be honest. I would be curious to see if anybody finds any success with Spirit Drifter. Moving around the map looking for isolated targets. It's gonna TP over to the Ivy, hits the one. Notice how long you can wait. Nice. And that's an isolated target. So if you look at his 3 ability now, it says +5. So now we have 5% extra weapon damage permanently. It's really, really nice. And his 2 ability, the teleport, where you can backstab somebody, when you have it maxed out, you actually get charges on it. So you will have 2 charges, which makes it really hard for your opponents to escape. And yeah, your goal is just to stick to your targets. Your 1 ability does have a really big hitbox, so sticking to them is quite easy. Really good awareness around this fight. Hits the 2 on page, gets dynamo ulted. It's actually crazy how much damage you can do with your 1 in general. I'm gonna get the kill on dynamo here. Misses the 1 on dynamo. I think he wanted to try to hit somebody behind him, and there's our first death. I'm not sure if the 3 is bugged in the replay, but he has +7, and all I can see is that on isolated hero kill, you gain a permanent weapon damage of 5%, so I'm not sure what's going on with the +7 here. But you definitely want to try to hunt isolated targets, and again, it's going to be easier to snowball with this character in the lower mid elos, because people don't really play together super much. It will be much easier to find those isolated targets around the map, especially in the jungle camps. One interesting thing that a lot of people don't think about is that once a jungle camp is taken, if you look on the minimap right now, the icon does disappear, so higher level players sometimes track, and that can be an easy way for you to find targets. Has Titanic Mag, Fortitude can be really good here as well. You're gonna be roaming a lot on this character. You don't necessarily want to go back to base and heal all the time, so Fortitude is gonna help you with that. It's also gonna provide you with that movement speed, a bit of weapon damage too. This helps with survivability in general, and I personally really like the health regeneration, as long as you don't take damage over a couple of seconds. It's whenever you don't take any damage for 14 seconds, you gain 2% of your max health regen, which is super nice whenever you're roaming. Just keeps you healthy leading into any fight that you might have to take. Just gonna go for a easy earn delivery here. 30 minutes into the game, the gold is kind of even. Ido's sitting on 13k, the Mina on the enemy team is sitting on 13k as well. I would love your thoughts on Drifter down below. To me, he seems maybe slightly overtuned. I'm not really sure. He does seem very strong. Again, he's only been out for 1 day when I put out this video, so there's probably a lot of things to find on this character. But yeah, first impressions, he does seem pretty damn strong, and I'm curious what the build with this character is gonna look like in about a week from now. But it seems like just a standard gun build that allows you to stick to your opponents nearby is definitely gonna help you. Backstabber is definitely a mandatory item on him. I think that's a really good item in general for this character. Just the fact that you end up behind your opponent when you teleport to them. Just trying to chase here. Buffs are spawning in about 1 minute. That's something that you can do in your games too. Just remind your teammates in voice chat buffs in 1 minute, and you know, a lot of people don't think about it, and it helps with a little reminder. And just grabbing buffs in the lower ranks, mid rank, I mean in every rank really, just gives you that tiny advantage that can make a difference. At the end of the day, it's a MOBA, right? So we're trying to push our percentages everywhere. Our communication, our item usage, our ability usage, our farm, our macro, which lanes are we pushing, when are we joining our team, when are we doing the earn, when are we joining for an objective, what teammates am I playing around, what teammates am I avoiding, who's strong on the enemy team. There's just so many things to keep track of, so we're just trying to push every percentage that we can. And that's the mindset you want to have when improving as well. Let's see how this team fight plays out. Here he's gonna ult. Can we get the kill on the 7 here? Nice. That's definitely a prio target in the fight. It's not looking too good for Ido. Does he get out though? No, dude, that movement was insane. Does look like our doorman might get the walker though, so this was hyper worth it actually. It's gonna give us that flex slot, so that's super nice. Ido's about to spawn. But yeah, what I wanted to say is don't worry too much about the matchmaking and the ranks. Just really focus on yourself, and after every game, just evaluate where you can improve and what percentages you can push, and over time you're gonna improve a lot. I know that some games can be very hard in this game, especially when you're solo queuing. I also struggle in games. A lot of players do. The matchmaking can be very unbalanced. Also, the fact that we don't have a draft. Also, look at that damage, by the way. Since Mina's isolate is doing so much extra damage to her, it's actually quite nuts. Might get caught out by the McGinnis wall here, like I talked about earlier. It is a hard tool. When you're a character that has to play close, it's quite hard to play against. I think this might be it. Ido spawned again, and yeah, just don't worry too much about the ranks and your teammates. Games are going to be tough, and especially since there is no draft in the game, sometimes the games can just be decided based on team comp. In the lower and the mid ranks, you can do a lot with any team comp really, but sometimes you just have to eat that loss. But what's important is try to remember what you could have done better. Gets a 1.1k donation from Dynamo there. That's very welcomed, and it's just so easy for this character to stick to his target with the 2 ability, and with the fact that he's gonna have 2 charges on it later. Trying to get that 7. Nice. And we're dead again. A lot of deaths, but a lot of fights. Has a Hunter's Aura right now, which reduces their bullet resist and fire rate whenever you're next to a hero. And remember that this effect is tripled if they are alone, which synergizes really well with Blood Scent. Going for some jungle right here. There's not super much to do on the map. Has bullet lifesteal now as well. I think we need to work up on that survivability. Looks like our Calico is fighting the 7. Maybe we can get a kill on him. Approaches from the top, might chase the pager. What's interesting is that I can't really see in the replay if a target is isolated or not. The blood trail hasn't really been showing up that well. I like how Ido's utilizing movement. I mean, Ido's movement in general is really good. He's really good at getting or having a really good overview over the fights, and then isolating targets and just picking the right one to focus on. His Calico is quite big now too. She's 24k, so we definitely want to fight on our Calico. Looks like Paradox is about to be chased. Maybe Ido can help out here. Or we might try to escape. Ivy goes for the parry. Ivy won't have any Stoneform. Hits the 2, so now we can just teleport to the Ivy. And this should be a quick kill. Very nice. Paradox dies, and he's gonna pick up a ball for 200. And let's see what item we're gonna buy now. Actually saving up for something here. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe Vampiric Burst. It's gonna give him a bit of extra bullets and some really nice lifesteal. I think that he might be saving up for it, actually. Let's see. There it is. Vampiric Burst is online. Gives you a lot of bullet lifesteal, ammo, and fire rate. Also 10% bullet resist flat, which helps against the enemy team. And if you're unsure about what to do on the map, then just look at the wave state. Just prioritize the waves, and the rest is basically gonna solve itself. I know it sounds very, very basic, but just start there. You're new to the game, you're on the map, it feels a bit overwhelming. Just, again, look at the waves in each lane, and then just go and clear some waves if it seems safe, and then evaluate what's next. Normally, just clearing waves leads to objectives, it can lead to a kill, it can lead to a lot of different things, but just make it very basic for yourself. Just focus on waves, and that's also gonna get you into the flow of generating gold and farm. Look at that damage right now on the Ivy there. Since Ivy's isolated, we're dealing a lot of extra damage. I think he's just gonna grab the urn here. I mean, we have 2 kills, so this should be a free urn delivery, or he might join in on the fight right here. Not entirely sure. Nah, our teammates seem to be winning this fight, so you can probably just go for the urn. And I think after the urn, we're gonna look to go for the final walker. And it's kind of crazy how fast this game swung. They were equal gold around the 12-13 minute mark, and now 21 minutes in, you see it's a 30,000 soul difference. I know I keep saying gold, but I'm just so used to other MOBAs. Gold, soul, same thing, right? And yeah, I mean, now he's just super, super strong. And again, whenever a target's isolated, they just die. And also, look at that. He waited with teleporting with his 2. Dynamo's really low, and then he just teleported to him, and that was it. Tries to hit the 2 there, and I think we're just trying to push from all sides here, so we can try to go for these base guardians here with our Calico. Meanwhile, our teammates are pushing. Oh, the base guardians are actually gone. My bad. Like you're trying to go for the McKinney's here. Gonna try to hit his 1 ability. Actually teleported back to the towers. That's another thing. Like, get creative with your teleports. I'm not even thinking about this myself because this character is so new, but he hit the 2. He missed the 2, right? But he hit the tower, and he went in for the fight and then just teleported back to the tower safely. Get creative with your TPs. It's gonna be one of your best tools for escaping and for playing safely on this character, even though things might look a bit grim. The Mina was 4k souls ahead of us earlier, and now we are 3k ahead of her. Gets Frenzy, which gives you a lot of stats whenever you go below 50% HP. So now he's just gonna become a monster if he ever dips below 50% HP. It's movement speed, 30% fire rate, and 30% spirit resist. That kill on Mina was insane, by the way. I think that this character has a lot of snowball potential. In lower elo and mid elo lobbies, I think that this might be an issue. I think we might have a lot of new players complaining about Drifter, especially if you play against somebody who's a bit experienced on the character. Goes for burst fire there. It's gonna allow you to shoot very, very quickly. And the gun build here is definitely taking shape. I mean, we have a 40k gold lead, so this game should be over very, very soon. Let's look at that damage right now. And again, they can't really get out. The McGinnis tries to use her wall, but then you just have your 2. And he has 2 charges on his 2 ability right now. So here's the potential of Drifter for sure. I mean, he does have a significant gold lead now, but the first 12 or 13 minutes of the game were just pretty standard, and you could just see Ido playing basic macro. It's just a fun player to watch. I think Ido is really, really good. I do like watching his VODs. And again, I'm curious how this character is going to develop. I'm definitely looking forward to playing Drifter. And I'm looking to probably cover some more characters in the future. The next character that I want to cover is definitely Billy. Oh my god, look at that. It reminds me a bit of Wolverine from Marvel Rivals if you've tried that game. Getting a bit of Wolverine vibes here, which is kind of interesting. Especially with the one ability, it's kind of similar. Yeah, I definitely want to try Drifter. I do want to make a video on Billy because I think Billy is very fun. And then I'm curious how Victor is going to play out as well. Getting that jungle camp down. Our teammates are on the mid boss. And I think after they get the mid-boss here, it's just going to be a clear way of ending the game. So whenever you have a lead, there are certain things that you can do to end the game. A lot of people just try to push the enemy base and they try to brute force it. And that's also one of the more common ways that a team with a significant lead can lose in a less experienced lobby. So this is just a way to securing it. So you can either go for the mid-boss if you have 1 or 2 kills, because you will win that fight if the enemy team try to contest. Even if they steal a couple of stacks from you, you can still gain the majority of them and just win the fight. For those of you who don't know, if you get a mid-boss stack, if you look at the top, there's 3 stacks. That means that whenever a teammate dies, they respawn on the spot, and it can only happen 3 times per team on the first mid-boss round. After you kill the mid-boss the second time, it can happen 4 times, and it can only happen 1 time per person. So if Ido dies now and he respawns, he can't use another charge and have that happen again, if that makes sense. And then you can also grab the urn, and the urn will be on the enemy team side, but it's an easy way to just get some people out of the base, kill them, and then push into the enemy base. Some people might get greedy, they might go push a side lane, you can get a pick on an easy target, and then you can just look to end the game. Going to use his ultimate there to lower their vision. He's gonna just go straight into their base. Also has weighted shots now, which gives him 30% extra weapon damage, a bit of spirit resist and debuff resist too. Puts the Stalker's mark on the McGinnis turret there, which is kind of interesting. Nice way to escape. Also, he has one of my favorite items. I think I talk about this in every video, to be honest, but I just love Fleet Foot because you don't lose any movement speed whenever you're shooting. So that just makes it very, very nice. I think we're just gonna look to end the game here. Just doing so much weapon damage all around. I would be shocked if he doesn't have the top damage this game. Interesting dynamo ult. And we can play a bit aggressive here because if we die, we just respawn, but that's gonna be game. Super nice Drifter game from Ido, just showing the potential of this character. He does look very, very fun, and let's check out that post-game screen. And here's the post-game screen for this one. Drifter looks super fun. Ido ends with top damage, and I definitely can't wait to try out this character. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, take care. Bye-bye.